Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Kasia. I'm CEO and founder of EBV Global Institute, and today I have a very cool training for you. We're going to talk about this topic. Should you do a detox if you have EBV? Okay, so the straightforward answer is no. So that's the training, if that's all you need. However, there's a couple of areas that I want to discuss in detail. So if you want to learn more, here's a summary of what I will explain to you today. We're going to go over 5 myths of detoxification, 5 dangers of detoxification, and impaired detoxification pathways due to MTHFR gene SNP and how it's relevant to EBV. All these items are going to be discussed in the context of your Epstein-Barr virus infection. So I'm going to put one thing straight. First of all, let's just say that EBV is an opportunist. So it's going to raise its ugly head when there is an opportunity, when you are vulnerable, when you are compromised. So oftentimes people say, why do I have EBV? And there is in some people there is this wish, well, if I detoxify, I clean it, I get rid of it. No, EBV is not so much the cause of your problems, it's the result of the problems. And this is why the answer is no. Let's just go over the details now. I'm really excited to share that with you. Let's talk about the 5 myths. Number 1. In our American culture, we like things quickly, efficiently, and more is better kind of way done for us. And the same with detox. The more aggressive you go, the faster you go, the better. Then actually, that's not true. The slower and the gentler, the better. And especially working with a compromised body, just like I mentioned, if you have chronic EBV, you're already compromised for many, many possible reasons. That would be a different training in video that we have. If you want to go to YouTube channel for all these videos and find it. Basically, you don't want to dump more toxins than your body is able to handle and excrete for you. So no, faster and more aggressive is not better. Number 2, a person with chronic viral infection like EBV really needs a detox. Let's put that person on a detox protocol. And this is a tendency that I see in functional medicine. For one reason or another, this is something that your functional doctor may be thinking or maybe offering you. And that's great for a particular population, but not for EBV population. So I would say if this is the discussion you have with your doctor, be really, really wary. And I'm going to line up more information and details for you so that you have a clearer understanding and make a better decision for this, okay? Number 3, a very infamous phrase is a healing crisis. When you are on an antimicrobial protocol, doctors will also call it the die-off process. Well, if you are doing a very aggressive detox protocol, you're going to have a healing crisis. And it's almost like a badge of honor for some reason. Oh yeah, healing crisis means I'm doing it right. No. There's nothing healing about this. This is a crisis. And this is unnecessary. You have to remember, if you have chronic EBV, you are very compromised. You are very vulnerable. You're not just a healthy, strong person. You're going to do a detox and it's going to make you feel so much better. No, it's going to tip you over. So you're already traumatized. The body is traumatized and really stressed and really tired because it's been fighting this virus for a long time and any other things that you have in your health bucket. So, the point is that in our EBV recovery program, I have 2 entire modules dedicated to detoxification, teaching our people how to understand it, how to understand the processes in the body, how the body detoxifies every day, what is the best support for the body to detoxify, without causing the healing crisis. This is how important it is, and this is how misguided this is functional medicine. So you're not the best candidate for that healing crisis. Number 4, some of the things I hear are, can I do water fast or juice fast or, intermittent fasting as well? I would say water fast is pretty much number 1 most ultimate dangerous detox process you can go through if you have chronic EBV, followed by juicing. The juicing is fantastic, but juicing has some dangers and you have to know about them. So the first thing you need to know is, when every community on this planet has a seasonal fasting process to celebrate spring, or just that these processes have been in place for hundreds of years. However, at this point, we're really, really toxic, like never before. So I would say any person who wants to do a detox protocol for any reason or fasting should be careful. You have to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you should be supervised. One point that you need to know is that we are more and more deficient, more and more depleted. And people with EBV in particular, because your body has been fighting. It's been under a lot of stress, chronic stress. Even stress itself depletes nutrients. And some of the nutrients are the nutrients that you need for proper daily detoxification. So you're already compromised. If you remove nutrients and you just do water fast, you're going to dump so many toxins from storage in your cells, in your organs. They're going to dump right into the bloodstream, And the bloodstream is like a taxi. It's going to deliver these everywhere to you. So instead of being tucked away in organs, now they're like actively feeding you everywhere. Your head, your spleen, your liver, your thyroid, everywhere the blood goes. It's very dangerous. So deficiencies are a big deal, and it's underappreciated. And when you are fasting, you're dumping toxins, you're not providing body with the nutrients. You're removing all possible nutrients that the body would need to carry that detoxification process. So what I'm saying is, when you have chronic EBV, you're not in a position to do aggressive detox like water fast. Juice fasting may be done properly, but people overdo fruits in it. Fruit should be juiced in that juice only to increase palatability, but that should not be driving the juice. And also remember, when you're dumping the toxins, they have to go somewhere from the bloodstream and be excreted. Most of it will be excreted through the stool. And in order to have a stool, you require fiber. The one thing that is removed from the juice is fiber. So that's not a good idea when you are in this particular situation, okay? And in terms of intermittent fasting, that's a different training altogether. But yes, I would say no, not at this time. Not until you're out of the woods and your EBV is gone and you can live your life, and then you can do intermittent fasting. The 5th myth about detoxification is that that's going to fix your EBV. No, it won't. It might reactivate it. Because remember, if you restrict foods like water fast, or juicing actually doesn't restrict nutrients. You're getting nutrients, but you don't get fiber. But if you have aggressive detox, you may not get enough nutrients. And the one thing is, and we know it from research, from studies, that as your nutritional status in the body drops, your virus becomes more virulent, more aggressive. So you really have to have solid nutritional foundation to help yourself with the EBV. And so detoxification would probably not do that. What you do want to do is have plenty of fiber, eat 3 good meals a day based on whole foods, mostly plant-based. So clean diet, please. Have 2 stools a day. take a B complex for your stress and for your daily detoxification needs. We're going to talk about that later. Try to do your best to meet your nutrient needs. And priority is to turn down and turn off the virus. Work with somebody like me, somebody else, a practitioner who has a good working protocol. And then when you are well into it, you can do your detox. Let's talk about 5 dangers of detox. I kind of spilled the beans already, but let's discuss that anyway. The first one is that you have a bucket full of stuff when you have EBV. And so when you compromise to this degree to make your EBV chronic, it's very easy to tip you over. So your body has already reached its maximum ability to deal with a very toxic side effect of EBV, because EBV is dumping a lot of oxidative stress-free radical. So there is that toxicity. Yes, you want to clear that. But when you're doing an aggressive detox, you're pushing the body over the edge. And so, like I said, focus on fiber and nutrients and a couple of supplements like B complex and maybe magnesium, and that will really enhance the body's ability to detoxify, because that's what it needs to do. Then, number 2, the danger is constipation. So the first thing that your functional doctor should be asking is the patterns of your bowel movements if they're suggesting detox for you. You have to be moving 2 bowels a day. If you're constipated, the detox will make it worse, because majority of toxins are excreted by the body through your stool. In order to form the stool, you have a lot of fiber that needs to build it. So you need that fiber. You see where it goes? So if your doctor didn't ask you this question, that's not a doctor I would trust to run a detox for me. The third danger is retoxing. Retoxing is a concept of, you're on a detox protocol, you're dumping all the toxins, you liberate them from the fat cells, from organs. Sometimes, you can liberate some mercury that is stored in the brain. Everything is then dumped into the bloodstream, and the bloodstream does what it does. It delivers nutrients everywhere, so it's going to take those toxins with it. There are mechanisms that the body has to cleave those and move them all the way through the colon into the stool. That's mostly what happens. And these processes can be disabled or, impaired. But the number one important issue is to move those bowels, because if your stool is sitting there for longer than it should in the colon, waiting to be excreted, in the colon, the body still reabsorbs or absorbs the last of the water and nutrients, whatever is in that stool, it'll still go through the lining of the colon and into the bloodstream. So you are recirculating the toxins, mobilizing them. Now they're traveling everywhere. And so this is why people say, you have this healing crisis, or the healing crisis. Yeah, that's what they call it, because you have joint pain, you have headache, you feel much worse. You're toxic. Your toxins have been released and not excreted properly. Number 4, one of the dangers of aggressive detoxification, and I'll be straightforward about it, was I used to run detox program myself, and they were extremely gentle and very effective as a result. But over the years, I've heard so many stories from my patients, and I have 2 memorable stories that I want to share with you, just so that you are aware, please. These are 2 stories about women that develop autoimmunity as a result of a very aggressive program. One woman took a 3 months medically supervised weight loss with products, shakes, sneak bars, whatever that was. And 4 months after that, she lost a lot of weight, which was danger zone 2. That's like, oh, too much. So she dumped a lot of toxins. After that period, she developed a very aggressive rheumatoid arthritis, extremely aggressive, out of the blue, was really immobilized. Another woman traveled to a very famous retreat that deals with water fasting, raw food fasting, kind of varieties, and it was medically supervised, and she did water fast, I believe. Then again, a couple of months later, she developed fibromyalgia. This is not something that you should take lightly. So if you are considering, this is not the solution, as you can see. Um, so number 5, the danger is that you may actually reactivate EBV because, as you can now understand, you're really making things worse and harder for the body. The last piece of the training I want to address is if you have MTHFR gene mutation. MTHFR is involved in folate metabolism. Folate is one of the vitamins, and it's very important for proper detoxification, for a lot of functions in the body. Really, really a very important gene. And now, if you may think, the first time when you learn you have that gene impairment, it's like a light bulb. Oh, that explains my EBV. I'm sorry to tell you that that is probably not the reason why you have EBV. I'll tell you why. Because the truth is that about 40% of non-Hispanic white population in the States carry the gene. It's very common. It's much more common in our community, definitely. But majority of people, they don't die, they don't develop chronic issues. If they know they have it, you only just need to make sure that you have folate in your B-complex supplement, and it's methylated folate. And I'm going to provide you with a link of a good B-complex that I take that has fully methylated folate, B12, and B6, because they work together. So if one is impaired, it's important to have them all. And B vitamins work together the best, not just individually. So I'm sorry to say that for most people with chronic EBV that have MTHFR gene, it makes it worse, definitely, but it is not the leading cause. Maybe in very rare cases, if that gene is so pronounced and if you have other gene SNPs that may be related. So that would be a conversation between your doctor and you that knows your genes and can say, you have this gene, but you have another gene that may impair your supplements and so on and so forth. So then the supplementation may be much higher. So with that, the single solution is just a very good foundational folinic acid or L-methylfolate, which is the methylated form of folate. Basically, folate is in foliage, it's lentils, lettuce, it's in plants. But if you have that gene SNP, you don't really process that folate in the body completely. So the methylated folate is a daily supplementation that you should take. But you just heard me in this training saying, take B-complex, and I would venture to say, if you live in the States and have any stress in your life, we have plenty of that, you should really supplement B-complex daily because it's a complex of vitamins that are depleted in stress, literally daily. You ooze them out in stress, and so you have to replete them in stress. And as you can see, the reason why I'm talking about this in this detox training is because you cannot properly detoxify if you don't have running B vitamins. B vitamins are one of the key vitamins to process toxins correctly daily. We're not talking about detox protocol. We're talking about daily needs to detoxify because your body is detoxifying every single moment of your life. Okay? So that's a very single solution, and there are very few people. In my experience, there are cases where, the more of the methylated folate supplement, it's not the better. It's very rare cases where you have a couple of gene SNPs and you are working with a doctor, you may decide to do mega doses. There is actually prescription medication, which is a mega dose of methylated folate for depression, because some people with depression have this gene SNP, and maybe other gene SNPs that really contributes to severe impairment of folate, and that is brain food. That is, B vitamins stabilize your mood, stabilize your brain function. So you can be depressed, absolutely. So just be aware that for most people, 400 or 800 micrograms, we're not talking milligrams, micrograms is all you need, especially in the combination with other B vitamins. Okay, so long-term solution to detoxifying if you have chronic EBV is build yourself up first with nutrients, fiber, daily B complex, and that's where you want to be. You want to detoxify with a practitioner who understands EBV once you're out of the woods and you are stronger, if that's what you need. All right, so I hope this training was helpful, and I will see you on another one. And thank you so much for being here with us.